Hey, it's me again, Fitzgerald. How are you? So this week's assignment is talking about music artists that have changed all um, like the industry or made some changes around the world. I know that it's mandatory, kind of talking about multiple artists, but I'm just going to talk about just one that I think it just gathers everything that I wanted to say. So I hope you enjoy. This is Women in Music. For years, women have increasingly made major strides in music industry, despite many obstacles. They are creating new spaces and new paths for gender equality. Sadly, there are really missing opportunities for women, in the music industry. Just 20.7% of these are artists, 12.3 are songwriters, and 2.1% are producers. And as you can see, there are really missing opportunities in the music industry. This research was made in 2019 for Times Magazine, and of course, it's really sad because I don't know if you have this thing on your mind that when you're a songwriter and a producer, you have to share all the money you've got over the song you've created. So just imagine that there are five producers of a song, and four or five that are men, and just one women. You got really less paid for your work, just the same as a man. It's really sad. So the first artist that the first and the only, of course, artist that I'm going to talk about is Miss Taylor Swift. She was born in 2019. She was born in Pennsylvania. She started as a country singer, songwriter. Then she had a transformation over this past decade and she became the major pop artist in the recent decade. Um, because of the smash hit Love Story, she topped every single chart around the world. That major campaign or that major success made her like change the way how we perceived women in music industry. When she became the first woman to win the album of the year of the Grammys twice, now she's the first woman and the first artist, sorry, to win the album of the year award for the third time. And people thought that she was really selfish and self-centered person, but because sorry of her speech. But people didn't realize that all of the hard work you have to do to create a new thing, to achieve your goals, to make the person you are today, it really pays off. So don't be sorry for being like self-centered and selfish because of your goals. You really deserve that. You really, really deserve that. In 2019, she just dropped a documentary called Miss Americana, which is available on Netflix. Um, she talked about like all the experiences she faced about being honest with herself and with other people. Like she's an entertainer, and it's really hard for her to be honest. Like there are certain things that you as an artist cannot talk about, like politics, LGBTQ rights. What else? Many things that are really social controversial, and it's really hard to decide when, how, and what to talk about. She was called a calculated person because of that. Mm, but that image of a really calculated person made her a snake. But she was not afraid to talk about certain topics, like as talk lately, um, because it's perceived that women have to be silent, have to be trained, have to be modest. You cannot talk that. You cannot be loud. You cannot be like sexy anything. So it's really hard for women to be perceived that. just like objects, just like robots. She did stand up for that, for the topics, for the taboos that we as a society are not able to talk about. That's hard for a woman. So she stood up. She did it amazingly. Because of that, there's a like I don't know how to say it, like a fight, like a feud. Sorry, um, from Taylor Swift versus Spotify on Apple Music, all the streaming platforms, because she wanted to get paid fairly. Like not because of her, because of all the independent and the indie artists, because most of them have to live with that money gained of the streaming platforms, and it was really a really small amount of money, not even the half of you can get of they got about of the song bought of iTunes or the stores. And because of that, all the streaming platforms just boycotted her and called her money hungry, a selfish woman, but they didn't recognize that she did that because of the people, because of all the independent and the indie artists that needed that money to live. Of course, we have Taylor Swift versus Donald Trump. I don't want to talk Donald Trump, but she, as a country artist, didn't have the power or the I don't know the power. Not. It's just like she was not able to talk about LGBTQ things because this guy of the left was a really rejecter of the rights, like human rights, like LGBTQ rights are human rights. It's just the basics. She stood up as a country artist. It was really rare that she did that, but thanks to that, young fans, just registered of registered in the sorry, I'm nervous, of the just the voting campaign, and thanks to that, all the young people could change the history of the United States of America. This guy of the left, anything, she just was thrown away. And of course, the sadly and the main thing is about her talking about her relationships, because as a woman, it was really seen that she was overreacting when she dated a guy, she just broke with a guy. But when the men like Bruno Mars and Ed Sheeran did the same, social media applauded them. Like Taylor Swift did that, she's overreacting. She's overreacting. Sorry. Ed Sheeran and Bruno Mars did the same thing. They're amazing. They just expressing their feelings, but I mean, like, women and men are basically doing the same. She and them, she and them are doing the same thing, like just writing things, expressing their feelings is just the same job. You don't have to be just appointed as a bad person to write about relationships, like something vengeance or revenge. That's really bad thing for social media. But anyway, you have to watch Miss Americana. It's a really good documentary. And after all this time, she changed it. She grown up. She's an 32-year-old woman. She grew. Now she handled all the stress and all the haters in a very good way. She's basically the definition of what a woman have to be in the music industry. There's a quote that is called Taylor Swift is the music industry. She changed, she paved the way for these new generations about music rights, about how you do all the legal things. She's really a strong woman. And there's my favorite quote for her. There are two ways you can get through pain. You can let it destroy you, or you can use it as a fuel to drive you, to dream bigger, to work harder. So thank you. This is Miss Taylor Swift. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.